I had my first $100,000 at 16. I made a lot of money selling crack. I didn't think about the long term of life. You never do. You just flashing and having a good time. Oh my God, you're so sheltered. You need me in your life. You can't change the past, so what are you crying for?
So explain the crystal light thing. You just feel like it adds a little zhuzh to your water?
It's probably really unhealthy because it would got aspartame or some shit in it. Something you shouldn't be drinking, but I like it. So when you're young and you ain't got no money, it was Kool-Aid when you was poor and black. So when you grow up a little bit and get a little money, you go to Crystal Light. It's like going from Church's Chicken to Chick-fil-A. You know, I won't eat Church's Chicken. I make too much money. So I eat Chick-fil-A. I eat what the good Christian people eat now.
What's the Chick-fil-A order?
Chick-fil-A, anything on that damn menu.
It's all good.
In Jesus' name.
Really good, Lauren.
Guys, I'm going to say if I'm going to eat In-N-Out, or if I'm going to eat fast food, it's In-N-Out. So I don't know.
In-N-Out?
Yeah.
That is garbage.
Why?
I tried. That patty is so damn thin. It's all
You
bread.
get a double-double.
No, but you're going to get a yeast infection. Just go to Chick-fil-A and eat the Christian chicken. Oh, I'm sorry. Should I be cussed? I'm sorry.
Oh, cuss away. Keep going.
You can eat Chick-fil-A and it's all in Jesus' name.
But there's nothing that I should try as my first virginity breaker?
For Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
It's chicken, girl.
Just chicken.
Just ask for anything you want on the menu. It's
I'm
good.
going to Chick-fil-A and getting a Crystal Light after the show.
They got good milkshakes, too.
They got good. You don't eat Chick-fil-A?
If I'm going to eat fast food, it's Taco Bell, it's In-N-Out, or McDonald's.
What?
Happy Meal? Just cheese and meat?
I can tell you got money. You're beautiful. Who eats McDonald's?
You don't like McDonald's?
Fuck no. I don't eat no McDonald's. That stuff.
Lauren, you are disgusting, Lauren.
You got to eat Chick-fil-A where the bougie people eat.
Is it that good?
Yes.
I'm going to
It
give
is
me
good.
some Chick-fil-A.
It is
Can
really
I
good.
Postmates it?
Yeah, them little things get stuck in the street all the time.
Okay.
I have a confession. Like, that is one of my guilty pleasures is actually Chick-fil-A, and I will sneak over to that drive-thru.
You eat Chick-fil-A and she don't.
Yeah,
She doesn't trust me on it. Maybe she'll trust you.
I didn't trust him on it.
You never had Chick-fil-A?
I'm not against it. I just think if I'm going to eat fast food, it's going to be...
Ma'am, that's not fast food. That's like top notch.
It is?
Let me tell you something. Black people just started eating Chick-fil-A 10 years ago. That's how good it is. We had to discover it like Columbus did America.
It's that good. I'm going to Chick-fil-A.
It's better than Popeye.
This is an amazing commercial. They should hire you.
I tell them that all the time, but they say I curse.
That's what. Oh yeah, it actually is a very Christian.
It's very Christian. And I'd be like, the fucking chicken is good, and they won't let me.
They won't let you. They could bleep you out.
Well, I don't need their promotion. I just go all the time.
You're doing
Chick-fil-A.
good. You're doing okay.
How have she not had Chick-fil-A?
Listen, she does a lot of things. Maybe you can come here and educate her a bit.
For
because
you to not take me on a date to Chick-fil-A and know that it's so good is unacceptable.
Yeah, I some things I just, like, if you don't want to listen, I just keep it to myself. I'm like,
I mean, the chicken, you're never going to have a chicken breast done that way.
Okay, I'm going to Chick-fil-A. You sold
They don't
me.
have no dark meat.
Okay.
They only have white meat, which is a chicken breast.
Okay, I'm
the
in.
Fingers, the
Do I need to
nuggets.
get the dip?
Yeah, just get barbecue sauce or either the Chick-fil-A sauce. The Polynesian is. I've never met a white person that have not been to Chick-fil-A.
really?
Today, have you
White
been
people
over here?
took over the Chick-fil-A market?
No, they started it. We didn't. It was too expensive back in the day. I didn't discover Chick-fil-A till I was a drug dealer.
Okay, wait. I need to unpack this. I want to go back to before you were a drug dealer. Before. Because I want to get to the drug dealer part.
Okay.
Before you were a drug dealer, how'd you grow up? What was your childhood like? What do you remember? Give us the whole spiel.
I grew up in the inner city of Atlanta.
Okay.
I had 3 brothers and a sister. I grew up in a single parent household. I had 2 kids by the time I was 15 by a married man. Trafficked cocaine, forged checks, and got shot a couple times. And during that transition of getting shot and being a drug dealer, I discovered Chick-fil-A at Greenbrier Mall.
You're gonna round the story out with Chick-fil-A. It's that good. Wait,
okay.
hold on. You had 2 babies at 15.
14 and 15, yes.
That is
With a married man
With a married
wild.
man.
that was not married to you.
No, he wasn't married to me. He had a whole wife.
Did you know?
No, she knocked on my door and she said, "You're sleeping with my husband." And I didn't know what a husband was. And I said, how's he your husband? He got to be your boyfriend first. So you sleeping with my man.
Look at. And then what'd she say?
I'm going to kick your ass.
How did you have a baby at 14? How did you
I had
know what
sex.
to do? I know. But how did you know what to do?
I didn't know what to do. It came out of me and they put it in my arm.
Figured it out.
I had to I knew to take care of it. Yeah.
What did your mom say?
My mom actually said so we was on welfare. And back in those days, when you had an extra child, they only gave you $32. So my mama said, since you had this baby, all you're going to get is $32 because the rest of the check is mine. So I got $32 a month from my mama for a baby. Wow. And I realized that wasn't going to take care of a baby.
So what'd you do?
I was stealing milk out of the convenience store up the street and all kind of little shit. And then I got into selling drugs, and that really helped out.
If selling drugs was legal from the people we've had on this podcast, it seems really fun.
Well, I sold crack. So weed is legal, but I don't think they're going to ever make crack
Why
legal.
go straight to crack? Why not start out with weed?
Ma'am, I was in the black community. They had just dropped crack in the black community. That was the hottest shit going, like New Jordan. Nobody wanted weed. You can get weed anywhere, but crack was new. Not even go to coke? Well, let me explain something to you. I like you because you don't know shit about being black in America. Black people don't do cocaine. It was very expensive. That was white people drugs. So we did crack because they cooked it. So in the justice system, if you're probably too young. What are you, 21, 22? What are you?
You know what? I'm going to keep her around.
But anyway, when drugs first hit the community, cocaine would give you hardly no time in jail, but crack would give you a life sentence because black people did crack. And that was just how fucked up the justice system is. I'm not blaming it on anybody, but that's how it was. So when crack hit the black community during the Ronald Reagan era, it put money in the community. It put all people on drugs, emptied the fathers out of the household, but we made a lot of damn money.
And crack was the one out of all the drugs.
Yes.
Huh.
So how did you initially start
selling crack?
Yeah.
So my kid's father was a drug dealer. That's what they called him back then. He was a drug dealer. So he sold crack. He went to jail, and I had nobody to help me with those two kids. So what I did was I took my welfare check, was $230 at the time. I had two kids, and that's all they gave you. And I bought me like an 8-ball.
Okay.
And I cut it up, and I sold it. And I think that I spent like $200 for that. I made $400, and I was like, damn. So I took the $400 and I bought a half an ounce, and I made a close to $1,000. I just kept flipping it.
You know, we just interviewed a guy named Arthur Rapkin. You would have liked this guy. He's about 75 now, but he was one of the original cocaine traffickers that would go down from the U.S. to Colombia, and he would bring all these pounds back. But there's a time when you could like put it in your suitcase with there was no TSA or crazy.
Right before they got, what's the big drug dealer name?
Pablo?
Pablo.
Yeah.
I remember this like hell. It was a couple drug dealers before Pablo. It got so bad to get drugs in America, they started putting it in tractor-trailer gas tanks. So we got a whole batch of crack one time that tastes just like gasoline. And all the crackheads, I don't want that shit to taste like gas.
So they were being picky.
Well, that's all we could get over in America at the time because, you know, they weren't being picky, but you smoking crack and it tastes like gas, you think you're going to blow the hell up.
When you start making that much money and you have two kids to support, does it get addicting, the amount of money that you're making? And how do you start checking yourself?
Well, I was 16 making that kind of money. And I had my first $100,000 at 16.
Wow.
And so I made a lot of money selling crack. But I didn't realize the value of money. I did what most people did in the hood when they made that kind of money. I bought dumb shit, Jordans and cars, and I didn't think about the long term of life. You never do. You just flashing and having a good time. So here I am, 16 years old, living in a $1,000 apartment back in the early 90s. That was expensive. So I lived in the same apartment one of my teachers lived in, and I had dropped out of school in the 8th grade. And he was like, how the hell do you afford to live here? I'm like, how the hell do you afford to live here?
Did he know? Do you think he knew?
He knew I dropped out. Yeah, he knew. Most of us was dropping out at the time to sell drugs.
So were you dipping into your supply?
I never use drugs. I eat Chick-fil-A. I don't get high. I don't really drink. My mama was an alcoholic. And I grew up around people using weed. Then when crack hit the black community, I grew up around all of that. And I used to say, these people stole me. This is not my family. I know Oprah Winfrey is my mama, but she don't know that she had me and left me here with these crazy ass black people. So I never got into using drugs. My sister got on drugs. My brother got on drugs. Aunts, uncle, never.
You probably saw a lot of people where it didn't go well for them. Yeah.
It didn't go well for anybody.
Yeah.
I always tell people, if you can remember this, back in the day, we all had Jerry curls. Remember that?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking
when
about.
your hair had that greasy, curly look.
Okay.
When crack hit the black community, it ran the Jerry curl out of the black community. Because
why?
Because nobody was buying activated to keep our hair moisturized. So they were buying crack. I like your wife. I need to take you on a Negro field trip.
Take me on a field trip. I'd love to. Take me to Chick-fil-A, though.
I would pay money to see that field trip.
Why? It'd be fun.
It's funny watching you, Lauren, talk about, because it's just like, it's like shocking to you.
It's a different lifestyle.
It's not shocking. I actually find it fascinating.
Thank you.
I think it's cool to hear her story.
Well, it's
beautiful.
It's interesting to hear you talk, and I've seen you talk about a lot of different things. You have obviously a very strong sense of humor while talking about a lot of tough things.
Yes.
Have you always had that mentality and been that way?
No. So, one of the things I always tell people, because I go deep, I talk about being molested, I talk about being shot, I talk about a lot of things that a lot of people keep their mouth shut about. And I tell my audience, the only way you can heal is to speak it. And I say, when you can talk about it, then you have control of it. So I don't cry about it. So if you're laughing about it, there's no space to cry about it. So I laugh about being molested, being shot in the head, being shot in the titty, being whatever. I find anything dark, I take it and make it funny.
I think that's a really good outlook. I mean, it's very profound and wise.
Well, you can't change the past, so what are you crying for? What am I crying for? I can't, what am I gonna say? Oh, my mama boyfriend molested me. That man been dead now for 20 years. What am I gonna do, dig him up and stick a dildo in his ass? No, but I'm gonna find some great material about it.
I mean, because that's great material. Stick a dildo up his ass.
What are the circumstances around you being shot twice? Sounds like.
Well, once I got shot in the nipple. This guy shot me up under the arm with a 45 and it blew my areola and my nip off.
Lauren, 45 is a big caliber gun.
I'm telling you, if I had your titty, I would have died. So, I'm a 40H.
You're a 40H?
Yes.
40H, Michael, that is 40H are big boobs.
She had breast implants, but she took them out. But how big, what was it? Those were big, but not that big.
Not a 40H. I think they were double D. So,
double D, okay.
Yeah, she's like, that's a fucking...
But a 45 caliber could still blow that off.
Did the person who shot you in the nipple do it on purpose?
Yeah, he was trying to kill me. We was shooting at each other.
Why? What was the circumstance of why you wanted to kill him?
He spit on my car. So I had a Cadillac, and that's what drug dealers drove. And it was a Fleetwood, an old school. And I just got it painted pearl white with all these little... It was white with all these gold flakes in it. That's what we did back in the day.
Cute, though.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Ooh.
And I was a girl. I was riding with the flip down radio and the remote control. And he was like, fuck your car. He spit on my car and I pulled a gun on him.
Was it loaded?
Yeah, it was loaded.
Okay.
My kids was in the car. And he was like, when I come back, I'm going to kill your ass. And you know when black people tell you that they're going to come back and kill you. And he came back down the hill. He was just running and shooting. And I was shooting back and I reached for the door and he hit me up under my arm. And I didn't even know I was shot until I got in the house. And I was like, damn, I snagged my nipple on the door jamb. And I looked down there and it was just all big ass holes.
So would you go straight to the hospital?
Yeah, I just called a hospital. And they don't sew you up. They don't sew that kind of tissue up. So the hole came out through my areola and all they did was put this plastic thing on it and told me to keep it clean and it healed.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It didn't hurt. Honestly, it's crazy. When your adrenaline is going like that, you cannot feel gunshots until the next day.
All these guys that try to act so big and mighty, we know someone that accidentally shot himself in the foot, and I've heard that story many times, and she's telling me it doesn't hurt.
No. Well,
I'm telling you, when I got shot, it didn't hurt.
Yeah, he said the same thing. It was so much shock.
And the next day it hurt.
Yes, because I have big titties, so I had to pick my titty up to clean it off.
Is it a cute scar now?
It's a you got to suck my titty to really know. You're not gonna suck my fucking titty, lady. I am not the nanny.
Oh my God,
the guy we're talking about that shot himself said the same thing. He said when he first did, he was putting a gun in a holster, but he forgot his finger was on the trigger. So when he jammed it down in the holster, it went boom, and it was a 45 and went through his foot straight. And he said the same. He didn't notice. He's like, oh, what was that? Like, went off. Couldn't find the bullet, and then realized there's a fucking hole in his foot.
Yeah.
And he said the same thing. Like at the time, didn't feel anything, but then after days after, couldn't walk.
Did you feel when you got shot that was something that was like normal and not out of context and weird?
No, because I got shot twice when I was 15. My kid's father hit me with a pistol and went off and cracked my skull. So it took some part of the back of my head off.
Holy
and
shit.
So that was, and I just remember saying, Lord, you got to get me out of this shit. They just keep shooting me. I'm tired of being shot. And so I got shot twice in 1 year. So no, it wasn't normal.
But that is like the craziest shit I've ever heard. You get shot twice in 1 year when you're 15 years old, where you're making $100,000 a year at 16. You have 2 kids. This is wild.
How do you start to transition out of that? How do you
I met a good black man with side teeth and a job.
Side teeth and a job.
Yes.
You are funny. Side teeth.
Yeah,
why?
Very important.
Side teeth are important.
Yeah, because I wear a weave, and when they don't have no side teeth, that shit come out the side of their mouth and get into our hair. So I don't got time for that. I'm going through menopause.
This is so hard to interview.
I heard you talking about this on Jimmy Kimmel the other day. Menopause. Why do you feel like this is such a, this is something you're talking a lot about right now?
Well, every woman gonna go through it. So is some women ashamed to talk about it because they feel like we're gonna be dried out. You don't be dried out. You just get hot and shit. So a lot of women get embarrassed about getting old. A lot of women don't want to get old. I don't have a problem with getting older. I don't give a fuck. I've been sexual active since elementary school. I don't need no dick. I need my back teeth fixed and more money.
I have been on a journey with my hair, let me tell you. So when things started getting bad with my hair was after I had a baby, my first baby with Saza. I noticed shedding everywhere, shedding on my pillowcase, shedding when I got a blowout, shedding in the shower. It was just like a nightmare. And so I set out on this really gnarly journey to sort of healing my hair. And this involves scalp massage, microneedling, a good hair serum, eating lots of meat. It's been really like a whole 360 of a journey. I also sleep on a silk pillowcase. If you want all my tips, you can head to my latest Instagram where I'm wearing denim. I talk about it. And one thing that I have done is I've been very thoughtful with my supplements. And the supplement that I take is Nutrafol. You guys know this. You've heard me talk about it a lot. Nutrafol helps with hair thinning, shedding, hair issues. It has a really proactive approach and it targets the root cause, which I think is really important. What I've noticed is I've seen improved hair growth. I don't wear extensions anymore. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code SKINNYHAIR. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code SKINNYHAIR. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code SKINNYHAIR.
The Skinny Confidential Him and Her podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. It is always a great time to share your feelings, your ideas, get whatever's on your chest off your chest, which is why we love BetterHelp so much, and we've loved them as a partner for years now. I think this is one of the greatest companies that we work with because it gives people peace of mind in the ability to talk through whatever issues they may be having with licensed therapists online right from the comfort of their own home. And what we love about therapy is therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have so you can start living your best life today. Lauren and I have had so many high performers on this show, and a common theme across all of these performers is that they talk to someone. They have a therapist, they have a coach, they have someone that they can share their ideas with and just get them off their chest. Holding in these thoughts and ideas and not being able to talk them through is a formula for disaster. Lauren and I get the benefit of talking to people regularly on this show, many of whom are therapists, so we can vouch for the importance of sharing ideas and talking through ideas. We've learned so many things about ourselves just being able to share ideas that we normally wouldn't share. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/skinny today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/skinny. BetterHelp.com/skinny.
Alastin Skincare. I was told about Alastin by my facialist, Stacey Christie. She knows all the best brands, ones that are really results driven. And she recommended that I try their C Radical Defense Antioxidant Serum. I've talked about this on another podcast. It's an amazing, amazing form of vitamin C. You should know that it has like 14 vital antioxidants to help protect against environmental stressors. So it really helps to brighten the skin. It protects from free radicals. It reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. But most importantly, and I just feel like this is so relevant because it's summer right now, it helps with photo damage and other signs of aging, especially from the sun. So that's what I've noticed the most. I had some hyperpigmentation and melasma from birth control and being in the sun when I was younger. Like I used to do the tanning bed when I was 18. And so I'm really about a great vitamin C that has a lot of research behind it. And this one does. If Stacey recommends it too, you know it's good. There's been 3 clinical studies on C Radical, the serum, and people are just obsessed with the results. They're so satisfied and they just keep wanting more. If you're looking to support your skin and you're looking for a vitamin C that's scientifically proven and clinically tested, this one is for you. Visit elastin.com/skinny and use code skinny at checkout for 10% off your first purchase. That's ALASTIN.com/SKINNY. Use code skinny for 10% off your first order. How did you said you got out of the life you were living with the guy that you met?
I got married.
Okay. And where did you move from there? Did you stay where you were?
No, I moved, we moved into a 2-bedroom apartment. And then I got 6 months in, I got custody of my sister kids, which took us from 2 kids to 6 kids. And he had no kids.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm sure he was excited.
No, he wasn't. I got back, he was packed and ready to leave. And I just told him, my sister was on drugs and I was like, I can't pick between you and my nieces. I don't want them to go into the foster care system because I knew he grew up with his mom and dad. He grew up going to church every Sunday. So he didn't really have any struggle like that. But I know what it is when a child don't start off on a solid foundation. So all I was trying to do was save what little family that I had. So I just told him, I said, we're going to take care of these 6 kids. And he's like, you done lost your fucking mind. I ain't got no kids by you. But he stayed. It was 31 years later, and he's still there. Now I have custody of the nieces that I raised. My sister got them back after 11 years and got on drugs. And she put the kids on drugs. So now I got their kids.
So what did you do? How did you manage that with your own kids and their own drugs?
Well, no. Well, my nieces wasn't on drugs when I had custody of them. They mama came back and terminated my temporary custody, and she got them back. Then she got them on drugs and the prostitution. She did everything to her kids my mama did to us.
That's very common.
It's called a cycle.
But it sounds like you broke the cycle.
I did. And I didn't, I want nobody gonna pimp me out. I was sick of that shit years ago. And I just said, when I had that baby, when you have a child, do you have any kids?
2.
Well, when you have a kid, you automatically know something wakes up and you call it mother instinct.
Yeah.
And I knew right then and there I had something to live for. Because before those kids, I was like, it didn't really matter. I was running wild and acting crazy. But when I had my daughter, Ashley, I knew I had to protect her. I knew I had to make sure she didn't go through what I went through. And I remember holding her in my arm on August 9th, 1986. And I said, I promise you, everything that I went through, you would never go through. You would not be molested. You would not go to jail. And you would not drop out. And she was the first one in 3 generations to graduate high school.
For her.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like you sort of use visualization, manifestation, I don't know what you want to call it, to sort of, you're like, you're not doing this, you're not going to be molested, you're going to graduate. And it seems like you've done that really well in your family life. Do you do it in your career too?
Yeah. Well, I tell people, I say, anything you want in the world, you don't have to pray every day. I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm not a Christian, but I know it's a higher power than all of us. But I tell people all the time, if you want something in life, you put it out there in the universe, do the work, and it will come back. So, like, I tell people, I say, I'm going to buy me this. They're like, you fucking crazy. I'm going to buy me this. And I keep telling myself that because that make me work towards what I want. A lot of people say they're going to do something. They just go sit the fuck down because they didn't say it enough. They didn't put it all the way through their bones. They just say, oh, I want this, but I don't know how I'm going to get it. There's not a such thing as I don't know how. I don't say those things. I tell people, you can't say I can't, because I can't hinders you.
A lot of people are scared to just even speak it into existence in the first place.
Yeah, I speak. I just built a house with no contractor, 15,000 square feet. Woo! And I don't call it a mansion, but that's what I wanted to buy, but I didn't want that note. So I bought a little ragged house and tore it down. My husband's like, how the fuck are you going to do this? I already had it manifest. I said, I'm going to buy me a little house on some land. I'm going to tear it down. I'm going to hire me an architect. And people's like, where you get this stuff from? Because I believe in me when nobody else believed in me. And I just put it out there. If I say I want a car, I go buy me a car.
Where do you think that came from, though? How do you think you got that kind of confidence, especially growing up in the circumstances you grew up in? Like, that's pretty powerful.
A teacher called me True. She said, Patricia, you can do and be anything in the world you want to be. All you got to do is dream. And that's all I do is dream.
The career you've created is incredible. At what point in your life did you start manifesting, visualizing, and thinking about what you have now? Day one. You always knew you were going to be famous.
I don't consider myself as I got a job.
You don't consider yourself famous?
No. I say I got a job.
Yeah, but if you went back to your hometown now.
I go over there sometimes. People say I'm famous. I am famous. But to me, it's just a job. So I remember when I first became a comedian, I had a friend named Tom Simmons. And I'm probably 6 months in. I said, I'm going to have a TV show. He said, yeah, everybody said that. I said, no, I'm going to have a fucking TV show. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to have a TV show. So when I got the Miss Pat show and I called him to LA, he said, what's crazy is I thought you was crazy when you told me 15 years ago you were going to have, I said, I told you I was going to have a TV show. I see it. I already seen it.
What was your first touch with fame?
When I did the show with Roseanne Barr called The Real Funniest Mom. I did that show.
And did you know that there was something real special there?
No, I didn't win. I just knew I had something, but I didn't know how to control what I had. Like I didn't realize that I'm from the inner city. So when I started to tell these stories about my life on all of these podcasts, I was like, why are people so fascinated with me? Because I thought everybody had a baby at 14. Everybody had been molested. Everybody. Then when I started telling my story, I was like, well, damn. Well, why my mama wasn't no good? But I started to connect to the people who understood where I was coming from or what I had been through. And there was so many people out there that was just like Miss Pat or like the little girl that's in me called Rabbit. And I was able to connect.
Where is your mom now?
Dead. And Daddy dead too.
Were you able to repair your relationship with your mom?
My mom died at 39 years old.
Wow.
I've never dealt with depression, maybe a little bit, but I saw depression, one-on-one, cried all the time.
How old were you when she passed?
I was 16. She had a stroke right before she passed.
And right after you had 2 children? Yeah,
she had a stroke, and I'll never forget it. And I was asking my mom, I said, Mama, I want to eat your Rice Krispies. She used to love Rice Krispie treats. She used to like to pour milk on them, water, because we on a fucking milk, and listen to them pop. So if you eat Rice Krispies with water, they pop like a motherfucker. If you do milk, they pop a little bit. So she used to love Rice Krispie treat. And so I said, Mama, let me have some of your cereals. And she's like, yeah. What the fuck wrong with you, Mama? Yeah. Well, she was having a stroke, but I didn't know it. 2 blood vessels hit in the head. I waited an hour. So I said, well, I think I better call the ambulance. You up here bullshit. You won't talk right. I called the ambulance and they said, you probably waited too late. She probably going to pass because a blood vessel hit in the head. And I prayed. And this is when I know that God is real. My mama bottom mouth was twisted damn near to her ear. She could not talk, and they told me she was going to die. I remember going in the hallway at Great Hospital, and I prayed, and I said, Lord, I'm 16 with 2 kids. I have nowhere to go. I have nothing if you take this lady. Within a week, my mama's mouth turned back around. She was fine. And I was like, we didn't do it. But I knew who had done it.
So she lived and her mouth was back to normal.
Back to normal.
And then she had another stroke
No,
later?
she died in her sleep. She was 39 years old. She was an alcoholic. But she was very depressed. To her, she was I would say my mom was about 70. That's why I can't stand to see people cry. To me, when you cry, it shows weakness. And it always reminds me of my mother. What are you crying for? Why are you crying? Do something about it. Well, crying ain't gonna fix it.
I think that's good advice. If someone's listening and they've been through a lot as you have, how do you find inner strength and resilience?
Learn how to love yourself. The reason why I'm sitting here in front of you today, because I come from a background when I thought nobody loved me. When I started loving myself, I put so much into my first kid's father. Everything was first with him. Oh, I just love you. I just love you. Then after being beat down and drugged down, and I said, why the fuck am I being treated like this? And I was just telling somebody else, when that movie, What's Love Got to Do With It?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that. You're not hearing me no more. You're not dogging me out no more. So I started to love myself. And when you love yourself and you put yourself first, you become happy. If you unhappy, it's because you putting people before you. Fuck your kids, fuck your husband, fuck everybody.
You hear that, Michael?
Put yourself first and you love yourself. Then you know how to love Michael. Then you know how to love your kids. But how can you love them when you don't love yourself?
Do you listen to Louise Hay?
No.
Huh. Wow.
Who the hell is Louise Hay?
Louise Hay's been passed for a few years now, right?
But she says the same things that you are saying. It's
Never
very
heard of her.
similar.
She's got a very nice, calming voice.
Yeah.
It's a he?
It's a woman.
No, she.
It's a woman.
She's dead now, but she says a lot of the things you say. That's why I just wonder if you.
No.
Wow.
A lot about loving yourself.
I love
and healing
Louise
yourself.
Hay, by the way.
Well, thank you.
And
Maybe
she says the first thing is to love yourself.
You gotta love yourself. And I just learned that over time. I learned we the people could try to be people pleaser.
Yeah.
For years I wanted best friends in school. I wanted people to like me because I was a poor kid with no clothes. I just wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be the cool kid. I wanted to have what the other kids had. But so I would allow other people to jump in front of my happiness.
Yeah.
I don't play that shit no more. I tell my kids, fuck y'all. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Y'all grown.
I bet you've raised some really cool kids.
They ain't perfect.
Well, none of them are.
I got some good kids. My kids did not go down the road that I went through. One of the biggest things I told my kids in life from being a teenage mom, I said, all I want y'all to do is graduate. I want y'all to do something I never done. And every time you get a diploma, it's a puzzle to my heart that is filled. So I have 4 kids to graduate, and each one of them handed me their diploma. Every time they went to prom, they let me dress them because I never got a chance to go to prom. I dropped out of school in the 8th grade. So I appreciate my kids because they let me live through them.
So sweet.
So I got to go to prom 4 times. I got to pick my daughter date because she was gay, thank God. I got to pick my fat daughter date because she didn't want to go with nobody. I picked both of my sons' dates.
Wait, what do you mean you're picking? You go to school and pick that? How does this work?
So with we did an episode about this on the Miss Pat show. My niece, I wanted good people to take my kids to the prom. So my niece, I walked in the subway one day and I said, oh, you a good looking black dude. I said, well, how old are you? And he went to another high school. I said, will you take my child to the prom? And he said, yes. He was the most beautiful black boy I laid eyes on at subway. So he took my niece to the prom. And I had custody of her at the time. And my daughter, she was gay, but she hadn't really came out yet. So she just went with all her friends. And so my fat daughter.
What do you mean your fat daughter?
She fat as fuck. She a virgin too.
Oh my God. How do you get away with calling your daughter fat? Does she get mad?
I'm fucking fat. What are you talking about? Don't nobody cry for being fat in my house. Everybody fat. My husband fat.
So you say my fat daughter, does that mean your other daughter's not fat?
Yeah, she fat too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm the one who lives with me. I call her virgin. I said, if you ain't gonna use that pussy, give it to me. Cause mine leaking. She gonna cuss me out when she but she went to the prom and I got to help her pick her outfit. And when she graduated, she handed me her diploma. Actually got like two degrees. She went
Damn. So all 4 of your kids, you're very proud of. They all got their diploma and you got to pick their prom date.
Yes. And my 2 girls went to college. Well, my son went to college too to be a nurse, but he quit. That's my son, Junebug. That's my favorite.
You say your favorite.
Fuck yeah. You got a favorite? No lie. Don't do that. Don't say that in front of him. Look at him smiling.
I have favorites for different things.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Like my daughter's really bossy and my son's a little bit more easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have it depends on the energy of what I'm doing.
No, the boy's a little mama's boy.
Yeah, boys are usually mama boys. And let me tell you why. So when you have a girl, the older she get, how old is she?
She's 4.
So the older she get, the more she's going to connect with you.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Your periods are going to come on at the same time because you're young and you're going to find yourself moody at the same time. So women connects. That's why you if you ain't no grown bitch standing in my house. You ever heard that before?
No.
One pussy at a time in my house.
Uh-oh, Michael's screwed.
Well, so when you grow up with a daughter, it's kind of difficult because y'all, either you become her best friend or you her mother. And a lot of times when you being mother, they don't like that shit.
Were you mother or best friend?
I was mother. You know, they don't curse in front of me. A little bit now. I still have to pop them in the fucking mouth. You was not allowed to dance in front of me. You was not allowed to drink in front of me. None of that shit.
So you had strict rules.
Yes. You know, I just thought dancing was a form of disrespect. And let me tell you why. Because I grew up in a bootleg house.
Any kind of dancing?
Yes. I grew up in a bootleg house. And a bootleg house is where they sold moonshine at. So all of these grown people being there, you seen Black Movie where they tell the black kid to get in the floor and dance.
Yeah.
So we always had to dance for the old men. And they'd be like, shake that ass, baby. And you 7 years old. I was like, I fucking hate you, old summer bitches. And so if you look at it now, you could get arrested for it. But we always had to dance for the old black men. They would always say inappropriate shit. So when I grew up, I didn't allow my kids to dance. And I think it was a form of protection.
It makes sense what you're saying.
Yes.
What I love about doing the show is we get to interview so many different people and you get to hear why they are the way they are. And it's so interesting to hear. It's like an onion. Because when you say I don't allow dancing and then you explain why, that makes total sense.
Well, it's interesting to like walk through why people decide to do the things they do. Like, cause that's like a deeper root. Like when I hear you don't let your kids dance, like it sounds strange, but when you explain it, it doesn't sound strange at all.
Yeah. So my son, Nakil, he's my second born. And one day I saw him dancing. He's grown with a family. And I was like, damn, you can dance. But that was the first time I saw him dancing. He had to be he's 30-something, 35 now. And I think he was in his late 20s or early 30s. Cause I didn't allow him to dance.
Now he's probably dancing at his house all the time.
He fat as hell. He can dance, but he really could dance.
I mean, if he can dance.
Yeah, and it's okay now. I mean, I'm okay. But to me, that was a form of protection.
How did you break into comedy?
People always told me I was funny. I thought I was always just blunt.
Well, that's apparent.
Yeah.
No, you're funny.
Thank you.
I mean, real funny.
Thank you. I went to a welfare to work program when Bill Clinton became president. I voted for Bill Clinton because he was sexy, white dude. And
you think he's sexy?
Fuck yeah, back in the day.
Really?
What?
It's not giving sexy to me.
Well, you're looking at him now,
35,
but back then,
ma'am.
I don't know. I don't think.
Ma'am, I'm talking about early on. He was fucking fly.
Really? I'll go look at old Bill Clinton photos later today.
Everybody was throwing vagina at Bill Clinton.
Well,
I'm not talking about no fat chick like Monica Lewinsky. I'm talking about beautiful women.
Really?
What? Bill Clinton was gorgeous.
Apparently, I don't know about Bill Clinton and I don't know about Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, apparently, you don't. Bill Clinton was drop dead gorgeous.
Okay.
So I went to prison. I didn't lose my right to vote. And at the time, I wanted to do something different. I had never seen my mama do, which was vote. And I didn't know nothing about Democrats or Republicans. So the flyers used to come in the mail. No internet back then. It was just getting out. And so the way they reach you was knocking on your door, giving you a flyer. So I got a Bob Dole flyer and a Bill Clinton flyer. Bob Dole was old, wrinkled, and white. I was like, I'm not wasting my vote on this ugly-ass white wrinkled dude. And Bill Clinton was beautiful.
Okay.
So I just told my friends, let's go vote for this sexy-ass white man. And I became a Democrat. And when I voted, Bill Clinton got into the damn White House and started the welfare to work program. I was so mad at him, I could have killed him.
And explain what that is if someone doesn't know what that is.
The welfare to work program was to make lazy people like me who grew up on generation of welfare, not working, uneducated, say, hey, it's time for y'all to go out and get a job and take care of yourself. So they did this through, if you dropped out of school, they made you to go back to school to get your GED, and they paid you for all of this through programs. And they will help you with a job, a career. If you want to go to school to be a nurse, they'll put you in school to be a nurse. So I want to be a nurse, but I'm a convicted felon. So
you missed that part of the story.
What did you go to
prison for?
Drugs. I went to prison for selling crack. So
how long?
A year.
Okay.
So I couldn't be a nurse because I was a convicted felon, and it was narcotics. So when I went through this program, I got a GED, and I met a caseworker who said, "You're funny. You shouldn't be trying to go to school to be no nurse. You should really look into comedy." And she told me I reminded her of Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby because I had a crazy story. So I started just Googling them. And I said, oh, he made money telling his business. Oh, I could do this shit. And so I went to open mic.
What is prison like?
It's not like TV. I mean, it looks like TV, but you get locked down for somebody telling you when to wake up and go to sleep. Just really sitting around watching TV all day.
Really?
How did you occupy your time?
On the phone. Back in those days, the collect call could last all day. You could call, collect, and talk till you hang up. Now it cuts you off in 15 minutes.
Huh.
Yeah.
So would you be Googling how to be a comedian in prison?
No, I wasn't funny then. It was after I got out.
It was after?
Yes,
Okay.
way after I got out.
And is after you got out when you stopped dealing drugs?
When I met my husband.
Okay.
That's when I stopped. Because he didn't deal drugs. He had just got out of the military, just came back from the Persian Gulf War. He was a good guy.
Can I ask you a strange question? Maybe not so strange. When you're used to making money that fast, that quickly, is it hard?
It was hard. It was so fucking hard. Because when I got with him, I had to get a regular job. So here I am with an 8th grade education. Who gonna hire me? I don't even have a GED. At that time, I didn't have a GED. I got my GED, doing when I got married. That's when I went through the program. So I'm sitting there. I go from making all this money from stealing and selling dope to making $4.25 an hour at McDonald's.
Oh, that's why you don't like McDonald's.
No, I'm a hustler. So what I would do is I would steal from McDonald's because I stole from everywhere.
So, but you liked the food at McDonald's when
at the time I was young. I'm 52 now. So you come through the drive-thru and you order something. One thing I can do, I used to do numbers was my thing. I could see your credit card and remember that bitch and go use it.
Oh shit.
That's why when now I got all of these this street knowledge. And I only see this shit with white women. Y'all will walk around with the clear purses, with your ID showing, with your fucking credit card number. Let me tell you about a killer. If a killer can look at your address and show up at your fucking door. I see it all the time at football games. I'm like, turn your fucking ID over. Turn your credit card over, you stupid bitches. I've been on a plane with white women who was ordering something, credit card. I said, ma'am, let me tell you something. I used to steal. I know your credit card number just by looking over there.
What'd you say?
Oh my God, I didn't think about that. Well, the world don't love you like your family do. Pay a fucking attention.
The clear case thing is really real. I don't have to worry about it because I don't carry my credit card or my ID anywhere. I make Michael do it for me.
Yes.
So I don't need to worry about
it in your titty. I put my shit in my titty and I don't...
Well, you have an H. I don't have an H. Where is mine going to go?
Panties. You got a vagina.
Yeah, I'll put it in my vagina.
Yes, but never just walk around with your ID or your credit card showing, because somebody back in the day, I can't fucking see no more. But back in the day, I could look over there and bam, your whole number's in my head.
And what can you do with that
number? I go through my credit card
Back
bill.
in the days, credit cards was easy to forge. You had a friend to remake them.
But what if you go through your credit card bill? You can find fraud.
Well, baby, I done fucked you up before your bill got to you.
Got it. Okay.
And this was before you got all those pings and dings on your phone.
Yeah.
The same way with a check.
By the time you caught it, it's like...
Yeah, but it took you 30 days to catch it.
So it sounds like you used McDonald's as a way to steal the credit card numbers.
No, I didn't steal the credit card number. I stole the cash. I don't know fucking credit card number. So when you came through the drive-thru, I would promo your meal, calculate in my head, and give you the correct change. At the end of the night, I knew how much money I was supposed to take out before I turned in my register.
I don't get it.
She would be able to discount through some of the orders by promo codes.
Yeah.
I used to work. By the way, I used to work at McDonald's, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
So you hit the promo code, the food is free.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Or you kept your register a little open, so when they ordered like a number one, it was back in those days, it was $4.25.
Number one's Big Mac meal.
If you calculated, you knew how to get a change back, and that's what I knew how to do.
So when did you stop stealing?
During my marriage, my husband was like, "You're gonna have to stop this bullshit. You're gonna go to jail." And by this time, I got custody of my sister's kids, and he's like, "What the hell I'm gonna do with all these fucking kids? These folks gonna come and get their kids. I can't stop your baby daddy from getting your kids." So I stopped selling crack, and I just went straight. It was rough. It was rough because everywhere I went I went to school to be a medical assistant. Everywhere I went, they checked my criminal background history and wouldn't give me a job. And they said, "No, you're a convicted felon, so you can't work here." And then I found a doctor off there would allow me to work there, and it was like $8. Try living off $8 with Section 8, with your rent is discounted, but you got 8 kids. It was rough.
That is so many kids for your husband to go from no kids to that many amount of kids.
Well, it was 6 kids. Now, mind you, I hadn't had a baby by him yet. So by me having an abortion when I was 16, I fucked up my uterus because I went over there and got it on the free, the low, on Medicaid. They don't give a fuck how they grind the baby up out you. So I have... So I have an abortion that fucks up my uterus and stop at one of my tubes. So I meet a good man, and now I want to have a baby by him. So now I got to go in there. They got to dig all this old shit out me to make me have a baby.
And did it work?
I had a baby, and it was a miscarriage. And so then...
You've had a lot of tough shit.
No, this is funny. Listen to me. So I have a baby, and I was miscarriage. I'm like 4 or 5 months pregnant. My husband crying like a bitch. And I'm from the street.
Oh my God, she doesn't like crying. She's like, weak bitch, you're crying.
I said, and I had it on his birthday to miscarriage. I said, shut the fuck up. We can do this shit again. I'm a hood bitch. I get pregnant real quick. I got right back pregnant and had my daughter. He was boo-hooing like a hoe because they was like, you gotta push. You gotta push. I love y'all reaction. All of these podcasts are so fucking different. I feel like I'm in...
No, it's horrible what you're like what you went
horrible.
through. I'm just saying it to say that you're crying like a bitch to your husband.
I'm crying because this is so funny.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. I'm pinning this to my Pinterest board. If Michael ever comes to me crying, I'm going to be like, listen, you're a weak bitch. You're crying like a bitch.
So Mom's like, why you crying? We can do this shit again tomorrow. He was like, what? Because he had never been through no shit like that. Well, I mean, you know, in the hood, you drop a baby, you have a baby. Who gives a fuck?
Oh my God.
So I got right back pregnant, and I realized my uterus was weak. So they put a piece of a white sheet in my vagina. It's called I forgot what it's called. They tie your fucking vagina up. They keep your fucking, not your vagina, your uterus to keep the baby from falling out. So I had that twice with the 2 kids I had by my husband.
Does that hurt?
If you stick your dick in me, it did.
Oh, so you can't have sex?
Nah. It really, he said.
So I'm sure your husband was crying like
Your
a
husband
bitch.
sounds like a fucking saint.
He is a saint. I don't even think he cussed.
Is the husband the same husband that you have?
Yes, 31 years.
That's cool. And is he funny?
To me, he is. He cracks me the fuck up.
Why?
Because he say, he's pretty funny, ain't he? He crazy. Because, you know, everybody, oh, Miss Pat. He be like, shut your stupid ass up. That's when I know he's serious. And sometimes, like, I get home and I take my wig off. He be like, you just gonna sit up here next to me looking like a real nigga. Which is really funny. So I love him because he's honest. He's honest. You know, I don't like to be pampered and like treated like, who just treat me like whatever. You know, just
Are you like the entrepreneur in the family?
he's retired.
That's nice.
So my husband worked at General Motors for 21 years.
Damn.
And he always took care of me. He always been there, no matter, every time I thought we was down, he always had something saved. So, and I told him, I said, if I don't get nothing out of this comedy career, one thing I want is I want you to retire from General Motors because it's kicking your old ass. And so he was supposed to retire when he was 30 years in. He retired at 21 years in. I got the second season of the Miss Pat show. I said, okay, it's time for you to give up your fucking job. I got it.
And you've just taken the baton.
I've taken the baton.
Every night, I end my night with a cup of tea. And the tea that I love is Peak's ginger tea. I just love ginger for digestion, and this tea does not disappoint. First of all, there's no tea bag, so you're not getting any microplastics in your water. So what this is Peak has these skinny little packets, and you just open them up and you pour the tea in hot water. The ginger tea, though, is the best ginger tea I've ever had. It's a digestion elixir. And what it does is it helps to support a healthy response to inflammation. Now, you know I'm about anything that's anti-inflammatory, and this is it. Ginger has been used for centuries to support healthy digestion and to help with inflammation. So to end my night with this is really great, and I just like the taste. Like, I enjoy it. If you're on Peak's site, I would also get their Sun Goddess matcha. Their matcha is amazing, and it's organic, ceremonial grade, and quadruple toxin screen for purity. I like this with a little bit of raw milk, some hot water, and maybe some raw honey, and it's absolutely delicious. It gives you like a calm energy too. It's not like coffee. It gives you like almost like a mental clarity with a zen-like focus. Head over to peaklife.com/skinny, spelled PIQUELIFE.com/SKINNY. You get up to 15% off and a free cup and frother. I love their frother. Plus free shipping for life when you start on any of my Peak favorites. PeakLife.com/skinny.
Quick break to talk about the farmer's dog. The days are longer, it's hotter out, the dogs are walking longer, and we need them to be thriving, which is why we love talking about the farmer's dog so much. The farmer's dog, for those of you that aren't aware, makes real fresh dog food and delivers it right to your door. Recipes are developed by vet nutritionists made from real meat and veggies and portioned just for your dog, making it easy to say goodbye to burnt brown balls and feed your dog real food with real benefits. I've seen such a massive change in our dogs since we switched them to real food. Many people may not be aware that traditional dry, wet dog food options are highly processed, can use much lower quality ingredients than they claim to, and are extremely difficult to portion accurately. Of course, everybody has the best intentions when it comes to feeding their dogs, but many are just not informed about the options, and they think they're giving their dogs good options when they're actually not, which is why we love the farmer's dog so much, because it provides the pets that love us so much with a better, healthier option for them to live their best lives. It's smart, healthy pet food you can feel good about feeding your pup. It's the best option for dogs of all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's real healthy food. And for those of you that are still on the fence, a fresh diet has been found to have all sorts of benefits, from healthier coat and skin to fresher breath, even better digestion, and smaller, better poops. Of course, we have an incredible offer for our listeners. Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/skinny. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/skinny to get 50% off. That's thefarmersdog.com/skinny. The kiss isn't the typical first kiss. It's carnal and dirty and makes me excited for more. Hold on. Kindle Vella, what do we have here? What's all this about? Okay, wait, here's another good one. The monster couldn't find me here. I was free. What monster? Free from what? I need details. Those are a couple of quotes from stories on Kindle Vella, and believe it or not, those are the juicy parts you can read for free, and if those aren't your speed, you can definitely find your own Vella vibe. If you don't already know what Kindle Vella is, it's stories that are broken out into short-form episodes right from the Kindle app. Since the stories are in episodes, you can binge them like you would your favorite TV show or podcast. You can start reading completely for free and read from anywhere while you're waiting for your coffee, in between errands, or right before you hop out of bed. The episodes are short but full of excitement and lines that leave you wanting more. It can be hard finding a time to read and committing to a book that might just collect dust, but since your first 10 episodes of each story are free, you can read from your phone or tablet. You get all the benefits of reading without any of the discouragement. Buy doom scrolling, Hello Sexy Vampires, or Meet Cutes, or Freedom from Monsters. Still wondering what that's about? I actually read Grateful Every Day by Deborah Hurst, which is stories about gratitude and appreciation. So they have a ton for everyone, whether it's humor, science fiction, fantasy, comedy. They've got a ton on the Vella app. Another great part of Vella is I'm never reading alone. The author leaves notes throughout the story, and I can even comment on each episode and talk with other readers about what's happening. It's easy to use, but the stories are hard to put down. If you're looking for short episodes you can read in pockets of your day, download the Kindle app and scroll to the Kindle Vella tab and start reading for free.
How do you look at your day every day? You're obviously so busy. Do you have someone managing your time? Are you really stickler about your calendar? Do you have things every single day? What does your day look like now?
Every single day we got something. So I have 2 assistants.
Okay.
And to keep me on track. So Jasmine does the most, where it say, hey, we got to do this, we got to do that. I have a manager, I have a lawyer and all of that. So they keep me pretty tight, along with the PR person. 5 days a week working? 7 days a week. Yeah.
I think that's so incredible to hear at the stage that you're at in your career. You are still working 7 days a week.
Well, I go out on the road, and then when I shoot the Miss Pat show, which was, we had to rehearse and shoot, it took 5 days a week out of me. And then I would go on the road Friday and Saturday, come home Sunday and go back to work on Monday.
Damn.
So when I say, now I just finished the 2nd season of Miss Pat Settles It. So now we just touring. So right now I'm on a promotional tour, then I'm always working on the next thing. I got some things in development. I'm writing another book. I'm trying to sell other shows. So I'm just busy. So, and I tell him, I said, I tell my sister, I must talk to you every day. Work don't stop. When I was a drug dealer, the early bird catch the worm. They'll be like, do you sleep? I can sleep when I'm dead.
Oh, you're not a big sleeper?
No.
I'm a big sleeper.
No, I don't. No. When you sleep, you lose money. So
I know, but I feel like this is so weird. I feel like sleep makes me prettier. I look like a pig without putting makeup on me without sleep is like a pig. It's like, it's not good. I gotta sleep.
Really?
Yeah, I wish I could. My dad like runs like you. He's like, you can sleep when you're dead.
I've never been that pretty chick where I cared what I look like. I would take my wig off. Well, you are too, but Thank you. I can go to the store looking like shit. I don't care. Like to this day.
So could I.
Yeah.
I go like Schmeagol from the Rings.
Yeah.
I go through the car wash when I get to LA. You should see me in Austin. Michael has a whole different wife.
I'm like, who the fuck
disgusting.
Is that?
He's like, whoa.
No, like I like to go into the store with Walmart with no wig on, no bra. I just fit right in. So all of this makeup shit and like I like to skip a bath, you know.
I like to skip a bath too.
And you know, I'm not like most women are into like going and letting people shave their vagina. I shave my vagina one side at a time. And
you shave it what at a time?
One side.
One side. So you'll just leave the other side grown out?
Yeah, because I'm fat. So my stomach is heavy at the bottom. So when I get tired of holding up my stomach, I just let it go. And then when I get the next shower, I shave the other side.
Don't you wish there was like a service like Dry Bar that you could just go and get your vagina
I don't want
shaved?
anybody looking at my pussy. I ain't got that kind of pussy.
What about your husband?
What a husband? I mean, what?
One of my favorite things about this episode is how many times Miss Pat has shut you down and not been interested whatsoever in any of these things that you're talking about.
I love you. No, I mean, what about my husband? Pussy is pussy. That's you young girls running around here shaving all the hair off y'all vagina. You know, I was just telling somebody this. The only time I ever shaved my vagina when I was young is when I caught crabs. Y'all just running around here with bald head pussies for no reason.
I will say, as I've gotten older, I care less and less, and I'm just
who cares?
You don't care?
As I've gotten older,
don't be careful what you say. You don't care?
I mean, we got to move it along, you know.
You got to move it along. You don't care.
Yeah.
I don't like when a guy trims too much.
Listen,
down.
I gotta be honest.
The good thing about it, she's a white woman, so her hair doesn't get, excuse my language, nappy. A black woman got an afro down there like the Jackson 5, so you just stick your hand in our drawer, it'll break your fucking nails. At least your shit is soft. My shit is crunchy. It'll take your nail bed off. You got
This is the funniest person that's ever been on this podcast.
You just can't finger me. You gotta spread that shit like the Red Sea. See, she black. She know exactly what. Aren't you black? See, she know them. See, that's why she laughed. She ain't laughed all day. She's like, she was on that about to cry. Oh, the Negro been through some shit. When I said we got nappy pussy hair, she fell out laughing. Yeah. Her pussy probably look like your hair, but my shit like the Jackson 5 afro. You just can't go down in there. You got whoop, cause your fingernail get caught, break your fucking knuckles.
Oh. That sounds like a real bitch to shave. Cause you gotta like get.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, that's a lot of work. I don't blame you. That hurts your arm.
Yeah, that do hurts my arm. And I'm not letting anybody get between my leg and shave that shit. So I shave it when I get, it don't really bother me until it's get into my navel or it get on my thigh. It get on my thighs, then it's fucking rough.
TikTok is gonna have something to say about that clip.
We've covered a lot of ground today on this one.
It's a lot of ass I got.
Miss Pat, you are fucking funny.
Miss Pat, you have an open invite to come back anytime.
You can come on anything you're promoting, anything, anytime you can come and we can talk about vagina hair and Chick-fil-A anytime.
Oh, good. Do you shave your booty hole too?
Yeah, you got to shave it all.
But I don't, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Why do y'all shave your booty hole? Who the fuck back there? I didn't even know I had no hair in my ass.
When you're in doggy style, you can see the butthole.
My husband ain't never told me he seen my butthole.
He's lying.
We can see it.
Hold on.
We can see it.
Let me tell you
something.
Well,
you ain't got no ass. I got some ass.
I got some ass.
Not like mine. My ass eat my booty hole. I'm like, because I had a friend who told me she dyed her booty hole.
Yeah.
So it'll look, what?
They bleach their butthole.
That is fucking too much.
I don't bleach my butthole because I'm sorry. I cannot do eyebrows, nails, hair, spray tan, shave my vagina. It's too much. Like, I cannot add bleaching butthole.
But does it matter?
That I think is like maybe taking it a little step too far. I
mean,
you
look at her booty hole and say, well, that's pretty hairy back here?
Well, I try, not to think.
No, but it's not hairy back there because there's no hair.
Yeah.
I don't got no hair in my booty hole.
I think that Jasmine should check later.
You crazy as hell.
Jasmine needs a raise.
I'll check. You can spread it. I'll check it.
No, I don't want you looking at my booty hole. It ain't that.
People do bleach their butthole.
I feel like you've come on to Miss Pat like this entire episode. You're gonna check her ass. You're gonna kiss. It's all this whole time.
I'm coming on to Miss Pat.
No, I don't want you. My daughter will eat the fuck out of you. Yeah, she loves you. You're beautiful, but I don't want no pussy. I don't like my own pussy. You hear me? Pussy do too many tricks for me. I don't like it.
Oh my God. Where can everyone go watch your comedy special?
Oh, y'all want to hear something crazy? It's on Netflix, but you can watch season 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Miss Pat Show on BET Plus. Don't be scared to come over there. It is fucking hilarious. I have a judge show called Miss Pat Settles It. It comes on tonight and every Wednesday night on BET.
Cool.
Yeah.
You've got a lot going on. I don't know why you don't have a podcast too. You should.
I do have a podcast called The Pat Down with Miss Pat.
Can I come on your podcast?
Fuck yeah, come on.
You can roast me and grill me and ask me about my butthole.
I don't want to know shit about your little booty hole. You should go to the hood.
I could Instagram story.
We should film that. That would be.
They would love you. They would love you.
I want to go if they would love me.
You're so pretty to go on a Negro field trip.
She's told me I'm pretty. I need to be told.
That would be the best content.
I'll be on the show. Take me on the show.
Now, I don't live in the hood. I live in a nice neighborhood.
I know, but
I'm going to take you to where the crackheads at. And they're all going to run because they're going to think you're the police.
Really?
Fuck yeah, you a white woman in the hood? Oh my God, you so sheltered. You need me in your life.
You need some help, Lauren.
You need me. You need me.
In. You know what? I'm not afraid to look dumb.
No, you're not dumb. You know, you're just easy to kidnap. So let me say this to you. If I was stealing from somebody, I would come to you.
Really?
Because it's written all over your face.
No one does.
No.
They don't.
Well, no.
Ask my husband.
I would.
One time, a guy tried to stick his finger in my butthole.
Well, I'm not trying to stick my finger in your butthole. I'm trying to steal your credit card. I don't give a fuck about your booties and titties.
No one's ever stole my credit card.
Yeah. You haven't had me in your life. 20 years ago, today, I got the same card you got. It doesn't matter.
You know what? She's the type of person at the end of every month, she goes, who the fuck stole my credit card? Who did these charges? Every time we go through it, it's her every time. She does it. Every time it's her.
Every time I go, someone stole my credit card.
She gets the whole, everyone riled up, and we all go through it. We spend an hour going, it's her every time.
I'd like to go on a field trip. I'd like to come on your podcast, and you can grill me on your podcast.
I would love for you to.
I think you're fabulous, and you can come back anytime you want.
I think you're fabulous, too. Because when they first said, what's the name of this podcast?
Skinny Confidential.
Skinny Confidential. I said, now, why did they invite a fat bitch on Skinny Confidential?
It's not about being skinny. It's about
I didn't know
getting the juice.
And then I got here and you gave me this healthy shit.
That was
And I was like, this is going to be rough.
I should have got you Crystal. You know what, though? I'm going to give you an ice roller. Have you ever tried an ice roller?
What's that?
Oh, my God. She's going to love the ice roller.
What's that?
Show her the ice roller.
You got a lot of fucking... Is that a dildo?
No.
It's designed after a dildo. It's designed
let me
after...
see that. I don't want no dildos.
No.
Because I can't get it out me if I put it in me.
You know when you...
My arm's short. Now, if it's a dildo, I'd give it to my gay daughter. She loves dildos.
I do have a vibrator for you that I'll give to your daughter.
Your vibrator?
Yeah. It's a sex line. But this is
You got a sex line, too?
This is designed after a silicone dildo, but it's an ice roller for your face in the morning. I get puffy.
What?
I get puffy.
I'm not putting a big dick in my face in the morning.
I'm telling you, you got to try it, Miss Pat. You're on film. Like, don't you feel like when you I wake up and I'm puffy?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm 52 years old.
Use this as an ad. Yeah.
I thought it was going to get some cellulite out my thighs. This shit heavy as fuck.
You can use it. You could use it after you shave the one side of your vagina.
Heavy. If I rub this will black your fucking eye. This thing is
No,
heavy.
it won't. It's trust me. I think she'll like. You can rub it on your boob.
This a click stroller.
On the nipple wounds, you just take that thing out.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
I also brought you mouth tape, but I'll explain that to you off air.
What? Don't tell me. Wait a minute now. That's kidnapping. The fuck is mouth tape?
The tables have turned. Maybe we're gonna kidnap you.
You know what? Miss Pat is already a nose breather, so maybe you don't need mouth tape.
Right there.
This is the mouth tape.
What do you do with it?
So you put this over your lips when you sleep, and it's going to encourage nasal breathing, which is really good for you.
That's for fat people. Give me that. My husband need that shit.
Does he snore?
Yes.
This will shut him up.
Shut him up.
For real?
Swear.
Hey, so you do this?
Yep.
He ain't not going to do it. You know why? He going to say this is gay.
No, tell him that my husband wears it all the time.
He don't give a fuck about your husband.
He won't?
He's a black man. It's pink. You got to get some blue for me.
If it stops him from snoring?
He's not going to wear it. Now, if he's sleeping, I put it on his mouth, it might work.
Sleep it and send me a picture of it on his mouth.
Is he a big snorer?
Yeah.
You know, when you said mouth tape, I thought it was going to be something to make you hold your mouth open for penises to go in. So
I can invent that too. Give me 2 months.
I like it. Your wife freaky as fuck. When I was your age, I used to be so freaky like that.
I like to keep it freaky.
Penis in between the titties. Now I can't do it because God is looking. That's such an old sex move. They don't do that no more.
Hey, do you know what,
in
though?
between the titties.
They should bring that move back, though. I like that move.
Well, and I had big titties, so they wouldn't yank off me.
Thanks a lot for reminding my husband of that move tonight. He's going to like harass me for that move. I can see it in his eyes.
She a A-cup. You better be careful.
You know what, though? She used to have, I told you she had the boob job. She got them removed.
Well, we can't say
Do you miss it?
I've had 5 versions of titties with her.
5 versions.
Because
really?
I had...
So these are you now?
Yeah, these are her now.
These are me now.
Your real titties?
Yeah.
4 versions.
They look good.
It's proportionate.
They're not hard, are they?
Hard?
Yes.
No.
Because usually fake boobs be, when them black girls be getting them over there on the low behind the church's chicken house, they be like bricks in their fucking chest. I was like, bitch, I wouldn't walk around them hard ass titties.
No, you got to go to a good person.
Let me feel them. Look, I knew she was gonna
How do we get to this? This is...
I don't like titties either. Be careful now.
Well, I'm wearing a bra.
Oh, you a padded? Oh, they real.
Yeah, they're real.
That's a little hard.
No, she had. I knew the high school ones.
This is the high school titties.
Well, no, because so I knew those. Then I had the first boob job.
Mm-hmm.
Then she got those out. Then got a new boob job.
Why did you want a boob job?
She never really needed it.
No,
You're so pretty. What do you do other than this? You act?
No.
I didn't research you. I didn't want to research anybody.
Miss Pat.
Huh?
Put us in one of your television shows.
This is my podcast.
Okay. Yeah, put her in the show.
I will put her in the show. You're so pretty.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well,
all right, good.
You know what?
And we're gonna talk about your podcast too.
Yeah, go to the Pat Down on Miss Pat. It's a Pat Down with Miss Pat.
Love
and
it.
the reason why it's called the Pat Down because I used to go to jail. They used to pat me down. So Pat Down.
Nice.
That gives me so much anxiety when I have to read about being like people patting you down, like in jail.
Yeah.
That's like
no. You know what will give you anxiety because when you go to jail, just get locked up and you're gonna be in there for a while. They make you bend over and you have to hacha. And so if you got any drugs in your pussy, it'll fall out.
Does that actually happen?
Yes. And some people had grip that will hold it. I don't got no grip.
You know what?
Maybe don't sneeze when we're having sex.
Okay. Thank you for telling me all of these
you
tangible
should sneeze because it make it wetter.
Oh, look at these tips that she's giving. The grip, the make it wetter with a sneeze. I'm going to Chick-fil-A.
I'm glad I met this version of you, but there's also a part of me that wants to meet Miss Pat, 20-year-old version of you, because I feel like that would have been a whole
entrepreneurial,
a whole wild story.
Oh,
Miss Pat, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Miss Pat. You are a legend.